Howdy and welcome to my channel. This is Granny Xanadu. I'm out foraging for wild edibles. I brought me along some water, a little salt and vinegar, a little dill to wash them up. And I'm going to pick some and I'm going to eat raw. If I can move out of the way here, I found purselane. And I'm trying to get a good picture of it and describe it a little bit because there's a plant just right here next to it. Maybe this one right here. There are a couple plants surrounded by this one here. So this is not purselane. It's not edible. You see, it's got just a long string of leaves. They like opposite each other. The purselane, it also lays low to the ground like this plant, but it's a succulent. It means it has thick, fleshy leaves and stem, which you'd be able to feel. And its leaves are in a star formation. At the end of each stem, my reading said 4, but this looks like it has more than 4 leaves. But the leaves kind of branch off in kind of a star shape. I'm going to collect these up. I'm going to eat them. Oh, also another thing I wanted to point out is I'm along the road here, and I think that's a good place for the purselane to grow because it grows in just about any soil. Of course, it'll grow in the good soil, but it also grows in the hard impacted soil. I'm just going to rinse some up here. Taste of these. How these doing? Oh, yeah, yep. I discovered I really like purselane. I've discovered it'll grow wild. It becomes an unwelcome guest in your garden a lot of times. But people eat this purselane just about anywhere else in the world except United States and Canada. And people were eating it in the United States until just fairly recently, up until I think it was World War II. As late as World War II, people were eating this. And that's pretty good. And it's purselane is high in omega-3 fatty acids as well as vitamins and minerals. So it's not just edible, pretty good for you. Anyway, I'm gonna try and collect some more. I've seen some more along here. Oh, also, thing I forgot to point out is they fan out, the stems fan out too, like the stem going this way, not that way. You get a lot of them growing just from one taproot. Now, there's just a little plant here. These plants are kind of small and probably not as big as some of the others. But remember, when you're out here looking for wild edibles, remember to watch out for those that are not edible. Make sure you're not getting something that looks like it. But I tell you what, this purselane is really good. When I grow a garden, I hope to have some purselane pop up. If I see it growing in my garden, it'll be a welcome guest this time. And in fact, I'm going to try and plant some. But if you're trying to get rid of this plant, here's one that doesn't look very good. Yeah, but here we go down here a little bit. There's one that's growing pretty good. Oh, anyway, if you're trying to get rid of it, you may have a tough time of it. If you try to till it under, you're just making it spread. Because the little pieces you till under can grow into more purselane. So, it's a good thing that it's good eating. And I found this in landscaping too, so I can understand why a lot of people don't like it. Not near as pretty as the plant in the landscaping. and it'll take over. I gotta be careful right here because there's this plant again. Drops the leaves. That's not something we want. We don't want that one. This plant also grows up just in impacted soil, hard soil, and it'll grow up between the cracks in your driveway, as many a frustrated homeowner would testify to. Anyway, I'm going to gather up as much of the purselane as I can. And remember, it's got the leaves kind of fan out in the star. And it's got a nice thick stem because it's a succulent. Let's see if I can the stem. Hold up the stem there. And it's usually, describe that, the succulents, they got a lot of juice in them. The succulent would be a good thing during times when it's dry out. It would be a good thing to help replenish your fluids too, because it's got a lot of liquid in it. Let's see. I'm going to wander around and see if I can find some more of them. Oh, here's some right here. And this plant looks pretty good. Well, I take that. This one's looking a little rough. It looks like, I don't know, something may have made a meal out of it before I got here. Some of the ends look like they're broken off, chewed off. On this one, I'm making sure to wash them off good. I'll make sure they're washed off good, especially since I'm really close to the road. And this is not a road that's used hardly at all. This is at a campground, at a primitive campground where there's very little traffic. If it was a high traffic area, I'd have to pass, because a lot of times the exhaust from the cars will be bad for you. So, looks like I'm not seeing much more of it. I'm going to try and collect as much as I can. I'm going to try and get a few more leaves off this one. And I might try to eat the stem. There. Let's see. So here's looking a little rough, but I'm going to try and get some. Now here's another weed that's in the way. I'm trying to pull it, get out of the way. And another reason you want to wash the purselane off good is because it grows so low to the ground. It's just right there in the dirt. And here's one that looks like maybe if I let alone, it'll grow a little bit. And one time when I was washing the purselane, I don't see it so much this time, but I seen a bunch of seeds in it. So it's giving off seeds right now. Oh, and here's another one that looks like it's growing. It looks like, give it a little time, it'll grow up some more. I'm hoping to find some where it's not just right along the roadway. They seem to grow really good there. And chicory as well. So I'm gonna grab up a few more of these. That looks like a good amount right there to have for dinner.